home to over 700 displaced foreign nationals. Many sought refuge here from the neighboring Makawusi and Marathon Park settlements, fearing further attacks. They fled their homes earlier this week when xenophobic attacks fled. Here, they sleep in these makeshift tents.
Since we arrived here, we sometimes stay up until 2 p.m. without food. We don't have blankets, we sleep on the floor. They only built these tents.
The living conditions here are not that ideal. Mothers with children sleep on the floor. A group of about 10 share a tent. There is no electricity, but ablution facilities have been provided. They are also given food daily. But hanging like a black pall over everything is a deep fear.
We are still scared. Unless the conflict will be solved, we can go there, but not this time. Maybe after a week.
I think it's going to be hard to go back.
Displaced foreign nationals find themselves in an unenviable position. Many won't return, fearing a resurgence of violence. Going back to their home countries, faced with limited economic prospects, is also not an option. In neighboring Ellsberg, another shelter for displaced foreigners. It's home to about 300 men, women and children. Daut Ngube fled Marathon Park on Wednesday. He left all his belongings at his shack.
When next day I come back, I found that they damaged the door and enter, then they take all those things inside.
In this crowded hall are also new mothers. This woman lives here with an 8-month-old baby.
It's difficult for me with my child because now we don't have some soap, stuff, pampers and everything for the child to be well.
Various humanitarian organizations are donating supplies and food.
Since Thursday, we've been arranging meals, freshly prepared meals and cold drinks for the refugees.
There are now plans to reintegrate them into their communities.
Enough people are beginning to get a sense that despite the rumors, there's not been attacks, and so they're willing to go back to the houses, and we're hoping that that will happen.
In the meantime, more voices calling to an end to the violence. Hundreds of Methodists took to the streets alongside the Gauteng Premier.
We're sending a clear message that indeed we belong together in Africa.
There must be no South African who thinks that the reason they have a difficulty, the reason they may not have a job, is because there is another African here who is taking their jobs. That cannot be justified.
And as the condemnation continues, it's hoped tomorrow's Imbizo, called by King Goodwill Zwelithini, could herald change. Manqoba Mchunu, SABC News in Eguruleni.